for busy parents and professionals. Welcome to the Strong for Life podcast. I'm Coach Josh Wood down here in Hobart, Tasmania. And if you're tuning in for the first time, this is the podcast for busy parents and professionals who care about their health and fitness and the example they set in the world and don't have all day to listen to a podcast. So we keep it short. And if you're tuning in for the first time as well, or not, you can tune in as many times as you want. But please take a moment to like, rate, and review this podcast on your favorite platform and share it with your friends, share it with your family. Write the link down and send a letter to your grandma, but just share it around if you found this useful. So let's get into it. Top 5 health and fitness tips for you, the busy parent and or professional. Okay, let's start with number 1. My first tip is walk. Oh my goodness. It doesn't have to be complicated. If you're trying to get more activity in, because you should always be getting more activity in, physical activity, not brain activity necessarily. But you need to move more. You need to move more to be healthy. You need to move more to be capable and strong for life. So the best thing you could do is walk. You don't need to be on a treadmill. You don't need any fancy cardio equipment. You don't need to go to group classes to work on your heart health and general movement health. Walk. And this is the first place I start with almost everybody that I work with, is we need to get your general movement up. Those of us that work at desks too much understand how hard it is to move during the day if we don't make dedicated time. If you are working in an office or at home and you have the capacity to set up a standing desk, that's a great option. And then get yourself a walking pad. I have a number of clients who are getting incredible step counts at work at their desk because they have those little walking pads. Personally, if you're catching this as a video, I have an A-frame office space, and that means I can't stand up at my desk without smacking my head on the roof. So I have a little mini bike peddler underneath my desk that I use to get an extra couple hours of general movement across the week. It also helps keep me warm now that it's winter. But start walking. If you're sitting there and you're going, but I don't have time, I call bullshit. You do have time. You have time now, or you'll have a lot of time to regret it later. Start off with 10 minutes before or after each meal. If you're eating 3 meals a day, perfect. For 10 minutes before, walk. Or if you have to, walk while you eat. Or if you can, after, walk for 10 minutes. 10 minutes, 3 times a day, 30 minutes a day, 3.5 hours a week. If I said you need to get 3.5 hours of extra exercise in during the week, most people would make a funny face and laugh at me. But when you break it into 10-minute sections, little movement snacks, it's so easy. 10 minutes, 3 times a day, 3.5 hours of extra movement each week. Start there, then you can worry about other stuff. Tip number 2, don't worry about perfect workouts. You definitely, at some point, should start implementing some form of resistance training. Weights, body weight, bands. You could go and do yoga. You could do Zumba. Not technically resistance training, but still good for you. Pilates, whatever you like. But the best workout is the one you do. Convenience is king. You don't need perfect. You need doable. You need achievable. So whatever movement you enjoy doing, do more of it. And try and incorporate some resistance training. Try and find a way to move against resistance. And that can be body weight, like I mentioned before. Yoga is a good starting point. I don't think it's a great finishing point, but it's a great starting point if you haven't done anything before. My personal preference is weights. I have a garage gym set up, and you can set those up for really cheap. And if you want some tips and ideas on how to do that, just shoot me a message. I love helping people set up garage gyms because you don't need much. I've got clients who just have a pair of interchangeable dumbbells in their living room. And they're pushing great weights. And they're getting fit and they're getting strong. Because the most important workout is the one you do. The most convenient workout is going to be the best option for almost everybody. So find something you can do. Find something you can enjoy. And do it. Don't worry what the internet says. Don't worry if some influencer on Instagram's like, that is not the perfect way to do this and that. It doesn't matter. Do the one you can do. And if you enjoy it, even better. Tip 3. Eat your protein. Yeah, you. I'm looking right at you. I know you're not eating enough protein. You know why? Because I've been helping people eat more protein for almost 15 years now, and I have never found someone who eats enough without thinking about it. And that's true. That's usually not too hard to fix for some people. I've worked with a few folks on carnivore style diets, and we had to fix a few things, but it was easier to get their protein up. But the average person eating a normal diet, even a whole foods diet, is not getting enough protein. So how much do you need? I can see you asking me, but Josh, how much protein do I need? You need a bit. The more the better. You can't overdo it. The worst thing that happens is you get terrible protein farts and your family doesn't want to hang out with you anymore. But if you look at your palm, and if you're catching this in audio, I am holding my hand in the air and waving it around. Look at your palm. Look at the size of your palm, the width, the height, the thickness. One portion of dense protein foods should be about the size of your palm. And when I say dense protein foods, I basically mean meat. Fish, chicken, animal flesh. That is the most nutritious and bioavailable, meaning easily used by your body, form of protein. If you can get 3 to 4 palm-sized portions, we use the palm because it's proportional to you. 3 to 4 palm-sized portions of protein. It's a nice, simple way of measuring. This could be even things like cottage cheese or, low-fat Greek yogurt. Typically, that'd be like 3 eggs in a serve. Like that works well. So 3 to 4 palm-sized portions of protein each day. Now, if you're a numbers person, I know a few of you out there are. If you are a numbers person, aim for about 1.6 grams of protein per kilogram of body mass. You could go a little less, you could go a little more. If in doubt, eat more. If in doubt, assume you're eating not enough and get more, because it ain't going to hurt you. But if you like the numbers, just aim for about 1.6 grams of protein per kilo of body mass, or 0.6 to 0.8 grams per pound of body mass. And that's going to cover you pretty well. You might need more if you're trying to gain some muscle mass. You might need more if you're trying to retain muscle mass while losing body fat. You might need more if you're much more active. So if in doubt, get more. But if you hit those bases, 3 to 4 palm-sized portions, 1.6 gram per kilogram of body mass, you're going to do pretty good, and you're probably going to do a lot better than you are now. So get your protein in. You need it. Your body is mostly made out of protein. If we remove all the muscles in your body, you're only going to weigh about 10% of what you weigh now. Your hair, skin, and nails, protein. Your bones, what makes them rigid is protein, collagen protein. Your muscles, protein. Everything that allows you to interact with the world requires protein. So more protein. Tip 4. You need to understand your why. And this is something I talk about a lot because it's probably one of the most important foundational concepts in fitness and health. If you don't understand the why, the main driving force that makes you want to look, feel, and perform better, then when life gets tough, you're going to give up on yourself. You're going to put it to the side and say, I can't worry about this right now. But if you have a strong why, you're going to make sure that you're always fit, strong, and capable. For example, I often get new clients or inquiries or people asking me for advice, and they'll say something like, I want to get fit. That's nice, but it doesn't mean anything. What do you mean fit? Well, I just want to get fit, And I'm like, no, I don't know. What do you mean? Well, I got these stairs at work. I have a hard time going up them without getting all puffed out and sweaty, and it's kind of embarrassing. I show up to work all sweaty in my nice suit. It's like, okay. All right. So we have what fit looks like to you. Because that's the big thing. If you're saying I want to get fit, you need to ask, well, what does that look like in your life? What will change when you get fit? And then we go, okay, why is that important to you? Well, I have a professional image to maintain. I need to look unruffled. I need to set an example. I don't want to look like I'm winded and weak and puffed out. Okay, that's pretty good why. Especially if you're very career driven, you need to portray yourself in a certain way. If you're a parent, the why is often, I want to be around as long as possible and keep up with my kids. The number of people I've talked to who say, like, I don't have any photos with my children because I'm so embarrassed about how I look, or I'm tired of my teenage son being fitter than me. It's like, okay, great. Those are good whys because it's setting an example. It's making sure we can interact and get the most out of our life with their family as long and as often as possible. That's a powerful why. So when you start asking why, what do I want to accomplish? I want to lose a pant size. I want bigger shoulders. I want to run a marathon. Ask yourself why. At every level. Why? Until you get to the base and it's like, this is the real why. And then write that down, slap it on your mirror or your refrigerator, but just don't forget it. And always try to remind yourself when life is tough and it's trying to take away from your health and your ability to be there for the important people in your life, you need to have that why on hand so you can keep going, because life is going to be tough and you're going to have to do tough things. You're an adult, you have to make adult decisions. And tip 5, get more sleep. Get more sleep. If you are a parent, you're not getting enough sleep. If you run a business or have a high pressure job, you're also probably not getting enough sleep. Get more sleep at every chance. No, you don't need to stay up later to feel like you're living life. If you're not going out and climbing a mountain at 9 o'clock at night or setting some sort of record or producing something of value, if you're just sitting there scrolling on your phone and watching Netflix, you don't need to be awake. You'd be better off sleeping and feeling better and living longer and being happier. No one got happier by scrolling all night on their phone. So get more sleep. Go to bed earlier. Sleep in when you can. I know it's taboo to sleep in as an adult because we have all these important things we need to do. But gosh, if you have the opportunity, sleep an extra 30 minutes. It makes a huge difference. And you know what? You're an adult. So if you can, take a nap. Naps are so underrated. I remember doing some research a few years back as part of my postgraduate studies on professional athletes. And one of the interesting things was the recommended amount of sleep for high-performing individuals is about 10 hours. But no high-performing individual, professional athlete, whatever, has a straight 10 hours to sleep. They're moving around, they're getting things done. So they had to nap. And in this case, it was looking at baseball players who play something like, God, I can't even remember the numbers. It was like 150 games or something in 6 months. And so they're moving from city to city every day. They're on buses, they're on planes, and they don't always have a dedicated 10 hours to sleep in a row. So they napped every chance they could get. And if you're performing at a high level as a parent with young kids, which is very high performance, or in a high pressure job, find a way to take naps. Seriously, 10 to 20 minute little power nap once a day makes a huge difference. So those are my 5 tips. Walk. Do the workouts that are most convenient and enjoyable for you. Eat your protein as much as you can get. Know why you want to undertake a journey towards greater health and fitness. And sleep more. Just work on those. Pick one and master it for a couple weeks and then add in the next one. And in 6 months, you'll have them all stacked up and you'll be kicking goals. And that's all the important stuff today. Now, quickly on announcements, the Strong for Life Members Vault, my online programming library and nutrition resource library, has some new updates. We've got dozens of new movement snack short workouts that I've programmed in there recently. The Foundation Strength program has 2 training blocks with a 3rd and 4th coming up. The 5-week kettlebell and body weight program is now live. The beginner training programs are live. We've got some great nutrition resources. Anyway, I've just done a bunch of updates. If you haven't seen that yet, head to my website, strongforlife.online, and check out the Vault. It's the ultimate fitness resource. It's growing every month, and it's always available when you need it in your pocket. So check that out. If you have any questions, you can always hit me up from whatever channel you like. Instagram's easy, at Coach Josh Wood, or through the website, strongforlife.online. I'm pretty sure I have some contact links in the show notes here too. So check it out. Hit me up if you have questions, and let me know how you're going with mastering all 5 of those tips.